what's up? This is Blaze the Movie Fan, and I will be commenting on two of Cinematic Venom's videos. In this video I will be covering his Lion King review, and the next commentary will be covering his review of the Toy Story trilogy. Anyway, before I dive into the video itself, I'm gonna tell you my opinion on the Cinematic Venom. Even though he's nowhere near one of my favorite reviewers on YouTube, he is still very damn good. He currently has 1,000 subscribers, but I think he deserves at least 100,000 subscribers. Now in this commentary I will be pointing out both good and bad aspects of his review of The Lion King. Now I'm gonna start by talking about the best part about his review, and that's the fact that he gives a lot of useful production information. The information he gives about the production of the movie is much better than the information you get from a Blu-ray, and that is beyond fucking awesome. In fact, in most of his reviews, he gives very useful production information, and that honestly is my favorite part of most of his reviews.
Unfortunately, this also led to many controversies, as the film is very similar to a 1960s Japanese anime called Jungle Emperor or Kimba the White Lion. It was so similar, Matthew Broderick even believed he was starring in an American remake of the story since he was a fan of the original. The director of The Lion King, Roger Allers, however, denies ever seeing the show or even knowing of the story. The whole time I worked on The Lion King, the name of that show never even came up, at least I had never heard of it. I had never seen the show and really only became aware of it as Lion King was being completed and someone showed me images of it. I worked with George Scribner and Linda Wolverton to develop the story in the early days, but then left to help out on Aladdin. If one of them were familiar with Kimba, they didn't say. Of course it's possible. Many story ideas developed and changed along the way, always just to make our story stronger. I could certainly understand Kimba's creators feeling angry if they felt we had stolen ideas from them. If I'd been inspired by Kimba, I would certainly acknowledge my inspiration. All I can offer is my respect to those artists and say that their creation has its loyal admirers and its assured place in animation history.
I don't blame him. This is the first time that I have ever heard of that show. But after doing a bit of research, I found out something interesting. This is apparently a very popular show. So I feel like such a fucking moron for not knowing about it beforehand. I think the reason I didn't know about it is because I mainly watch American animation. Doesn't make it any less stupid that I wasn't aware of this until I saw this video.
Oh, and to ruin your childhoods even more, the death scene was originally even longer and more intense, but after a few preview screenings, kids burst into tears uncontrollably, so they decided to tone it down a bit. Yeah, good idea. Take it easy, man. Who upset you?
I'm glad that what was originally intended was not the final product, because the scene was already as long as it needed to be. If it was any longer, that would drag out the scene.
But the ridiculousness stretches even further when you discover that hyena biologists were so angry at the film's inaccurate depiction of the creatures that they actually sued Disney Studios for defamation of character. Some people need to get laid.
These people are fucking morons. I mean seriously, who fucking cares? They should know that this movie is fiction. I mean, I don't hear anyone complaining about the fact that Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse are acting nothing like real mice or ducks. The reason nobody is complaining about that is because that is expected, as they are, after all, fucking fictional characters. And the same logic should apply to this movie as well.
But here's the part where everyone hates me because I point out what's wrong with it and everyone thinks it's serious and don't understand, that it's just for a laugh and the nitpicks are part of the joke. The same people who hate cinema sins. Makes no sense.
Well, to be fair, most of your complaints in your reviews are far more legitimate than any of the complaints that Cinema Sins has. And before any of you take this the wrong way, I don't hate Cinema Sins. In fact, I enjoy Cinema Sins. I love laughing at how stupid their nitpicks are.
The hyenas are a complete rip-off of the vultures in the Jungle Book. They are literally the exact same characters. I mean, they do it again later when Timon and Pumbaa teach Simba to eat bugs, ripping off the same film again. It's just unoriginal.
I decided to watch the Jungle Book to see if your claim is accurate. And I realized something that's very surprising. This is a legitimate case of rip-off. Most of the times on the internet, when people call something a rip-off, it is invalid. This is one of the few times when someone calls something a rip-off and it's actually accurate. So congratulations, man, on being one of the very few people who use the word rip-off accurately.
In fact, how does Simba even grow to be so strong when he is literally shown as just eating bugs for all these years? He's a lion who requires certain foods for the primary diet. His fangs wouldn't be as sharp and he wouldn't be as strong. In fact, how does he even take on Scar at the end? He has had no training, no history with hunting. He's been Hakuna Matating it for years, yet he comes back and manages to have a fair fight with Scar, who's been hunting for years.
I think Simba's strength comes naturally. I mean, he is a fucking lion after all. And also, what makes you think that Scar has been hunting for years? I mean, sure, he gave the hyenas meat by the beginning of the movie, but after Mufasa's death, it's clearly established that he doesn't do the hunting himself. He hires the hyenas and the lions to do it for him. So really, he isn't as experienced at fighting as you might think.
Why doesn't Scar just kill Simba instead of letting him run away and have the possibility of surviving? I mean, Scar's whole plan is to become king. If he eliminates Simba, he has 100% chance of doing that. Letting him go, there's still a possibility in not becoming king. This is just a stupid move. I mean, he had no problems killing his brother, but he draws the line at his nephew. In fact, he asks his hyena friends to kill him instead. Why? It makes no sense.
The reason he didn't kill Simba right away is because he wanted him to feel bad before he died. That's what villains do. Furthermore, letting Simba go was not his intention at all. He trusted that the hyenas would kill him. It's not Scar's fault that the hyenas didn't do their job. It makes sense that Scar would think that they would finish the job. He has a lot of trust in them after all.
And why does everybody just accept Scar's word that Simba is dead? He has Mufasa's body for evidence, but there's no proof of Simba dying. They should accept the word of this evil-looking lion and move on with their day.
Let's think of it like this. If you found out that one of your friends died, would you be able to think rationally? No, of course you wouldn't, because you would be far too depressed about the fact that one of your friends is dead. That is the reason why no one questioned it.
I'm also not a big fan of Matthew Broderick taking over. I just don't think the guy can act, and his voice acting even sucks. As soon as Taylor Thomas leaves, I care less about Simba. He can't even make an animated lion sound convincing. Okay, I guess that would be difficult to pull off, but shut up!
I personally think Matthew Broderick is fucking awesome as Simba, but hey, you're entitled to your opinion. But there is something else that I want to ask you. Who do you think would have been a better actor to play as Simba? I'm asking this because I'm genuinely curious.
How the hell does Rafiki know that Simba's alive? Because he does voodoo? Because in that case, he should know that Scar killed Mufasa and should probably tell someone, but he never does.
Well, let's talk about the scene that leads up to that event, shall we? Simba touches flowers with his paws, and the wind blew those flowers to Rafiki. Which means that some of his fur could have easily gotten on the flowers. Which means that Rafiki could have easily smelled Simba's fur. So yeah, that explains it. Also, how the hell was he supposed to know that Scar killed Mufasa? He wasn't even there.
Rafiki even tells Simba that his father is alive, only to reveal he's not really. Well, that's really cruel, actually. Seriously, Rafiki, you're a douchebag for that.
Well, technically it isn't a lie. When Rafiki says that Mufasa is still alive, he means that Mufasa is still alive in spirit. And Mufasa did manage to knock some sense into Simba. So really, Rafiki was doing the right thing.
But even then, why did it take you so many years to tell him this anyway?
First of all, Rafiki didn't know that Simba was alive until that point. Secondly, if Simba would have returned before he became an adult, he would be fucking killed. Now it's time for my overall thoughts. This review is not fucking awesome, far from it. The biggest issue that I have with this review is the fact that you misunderstood a lot of very important points about the movie. But on the plus side, this isn't an awful review either. You gave very useful production information, which is still my favorite part about this review. So I am gonna say that this review is good but not great. One more thing before I end this video. Please subscribe to the Cinematic Venom because he deserves a lot more fucking subscribers than he currently has. He's a very underrated reviewer. So go ahead and fucking do it. I also recommend you check out the original video, because trust me, for the most part, it's really worth watching. Well guys, you reached the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.